Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, the truck's Daisy, and we're hauling paws. We transport RVs from the manufacturer to the dealer all over this beautiful country of ours, and they pay us for it. It's amazing. Today we're talking about mounts. I've got lots of them. Talking about mounts for your phone, mounts for your GPS, for your tablets, all those things. I know that you have done the same thing that I've done, and you've gone through a lot of different mounts trying to find the perfect one that will hold your device where you can see it, where you can use it, or where it's secure. On my end, I need something that will hold my phone or cameras secure so they don't vibrate, so that I can create content like this. So I've gone through a lot of different mounts. Some of them I've made myself, some of them I've purchased. These things are not the greatest. I've got a lot of different magnet mounts. Those things do the job that they are intended for, but they're still not the greatest for what I need them for. I've got mounts like this that I've made myself. This is a magnet from the hardware store with a GoPro mount on it that's cut off, that's glued on to a piece that I cut off and epoxied it all together. So I've got all kinds of different mounts. One for a bar, just lots and lots of different things. Simple magnet mounts that just stick to your dash, and then you can stick your phone to it. But none of them really did what I wanted them to do. So I decided to try something different this time. Now, before I start with this, I need to say that I am not sponsored by this company in any way. I looked at a couple of different options, and I decided to go ahead and try it, buy it, and we're going to unbox it, we're going to install it, and we're going to put it through a real world test, and I'll do a review on it. And when you see this video, it's going to be several weeks after I actually got this thing in the mail, because I am not like the other people that will do a review as soon as they open the box. They open the box and they're like, ooh, this is going to be great. It works great. It turns on, or whatever it does. That's not the kind of review that I'm doing. I'm going to do a real world review in the truck like you would be using it. So what I did is I went to this company called BulletPoint. BulletPoint Mounting Solutions. It's a company based out of Ohio. It was started by two guys that met in college, and they were into off-roading, so they started making mounts for Jeeps. And that kind of blossomed into making mounts for all kinds of different things. Now I have an F-250, but you might have a Ram. They've got mounts for Rams and Chevys and all kinds of other vehicles on their website. So the mounts they offer, and I've got some cheat notes over here, but the mounts they offer come in a couple of different styles. You can buy them in pre-built kits that come with the base mount and then the arms and the phone holders and things like that. Their base, I guess the first level of mount, looks like this for the F-250. It's just your basic base mount with the two balls, an arm, and a phone holder. Then they have the extra large phone holder for, I guess, larger phones, the bigger ones, the pluses and all that. They have a magnetic mount that is not the MagSafe mount, so it won't work stock with your phone. You can't just stick your phone, or if you have an iPhone. Let me back up. If you have an iPhone, it won't just stick onto your iPhone. I always base everything off an iPhone because that's all we have. But the round magnet needs a plate stuck to the back of your phone, just like other magnetic mounts do. So it comes with that, and you can stick it on the back of your phone and then use the magnetic mount. You can also buy just the base with the two balls, and then you can build your system off of that, and that's what I did. I bought that base with two balls. You can also put another third ball in the center. In that middle, I don't know if you can tell from this picture here, but there's a cutout of an American flag up there, kind of made out of bullets, and there's a third mount that you can actually bolt another one of those balls into the center of that. All right, I actually really like to get the iPad mount or the tablet mount, but I wasn't sure if it would hold my tablet, because my tablet's a little bit heavier and I didn't want it shaking all over the place. So I didn't want to put the money out on it. So, and I haven't seen any videos that actually show that in use. They show pictures of it. Oh, here it is in my driveway. That's great. What about driving down the road? What about driving down the highway? What about going through Iowa on I-80? Let's see it on there. So I want to see some real world stuff before I actually put out the money for that tablet mount. Now, BulletPoint, if you're watching this and you want to send me one of those to actually check it out, I'll be happy to do that. So then they have a mount that's 2 phones, so you can have one on each side. So that works really good if you're traveling with someone else. They also have the iPad mount or the tablet mount that you can see there. It's a larger mount that goes up on there, has an arm that bolts on just like everything else. You can have a GoPro mount or action camera mount. It's for a GoPro primarily, but any of the action cameras will bolt to it. And that's what I like about this system. It's modular, so I can take off my phone mount and put a GoPro mount on it or whatever else I want to do. The arms come in the standard black, which is what I got, or you can get them in multicolors to match your truck or match your theme or match your mood or whatever you want. So you can buy them in a lot of different colors. They also have a lot of different adapters, and that's what I've gotten here, and that's what we're going to see in a little bit. They can change the ball size from the BulletPoint Manufacturing's 20 millimeter standard down to 17 millimeter, so that they'll mount directly to a Garmin GPS or any other mounts that you have that carry the 17 millimeter ball. All of these mounts have the 17 millimeter ball, so anything that will clip onto these things you can convert to work. They also have adapters that can go to the RAM mounts with the 1-inch ball and things like that. They have a number of different kinds of other adapters that you can get that'll clip onto different Garmins. This one's got the removable round thing. They don't have the adapter for that, but they have the push in and slide up adapter for the Garmin and other devices like that too. And then they have things like CB holders or FRS holder mounts that you can get for this. So if you're into off-road and you've got one of those FRS radios, you can get the mount for that. Or if you have a CB handheld, you can hook it onto there too. All right, so let's get to the unboxing. All right, so that's how an unboxing should go. This is how the stuff comes. I got a couple of these small adapters. This is to switch from the 22 millimeter ball to the 17 millimeter ball for the Garmin GPS. And that's going to go on the end of my arms. It looks like that. It's got a bigger ball on one side and a smaller on the other end. So then the 17 millimeter will plug into the back of my GPS. And it will also plug into, I have this ESR MagSafe charging mount, and I love this thing. I'll have to do a review on this thing too, but it's for iPhones, and it's a, you just slam your phone on there. It's a big magnet, holds your phone, and charges it at the same time. So you don't have to actually plug in, which makes it really handy when you're jumping in and out of the truck. So that will also snap into the back of that, and then this nut will tighten down. And then I'll be able to mount that directly to an arm for my for the mount. So the business end of the thing is in here. So I bought the base mount. Comes with the 2 mounting balls. It does have double-sided sticky tape on here, but that's your base mount, and it goes in your tray. Now again, this is for the Ford. It's going to go in the tray right there, and it looks pretty slick. It's nice and flush, and it still gives you room to put stuff in the back, but it mounts just like that. And then you'll have to drill 4 holes to actually mount it, or you can use just the sticky tape, but I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes and mount it. And it's kind of cool. In the center here, it's got an American flag made out of bullet holes and some different bullets going across there. And then there's a mount in the middle of that for a third ball, which looks like this. Let's get this open. The third ball will then mount in the center of that, like that. So I'll have 3 mounts going across there, because I also picked up the GoPro mount, or action camera mount. It comes with a couple of different types of mounts here, but it's your basic GoPro mount on the top, and then you can clip that right over your ball. I've got the shorter arm, and then I've got a little bit longer arm. I wanted the longer one for the GPS and the shorter one for the camera. So let's put it together and then I'll show you what it looks like. So some assembly required. The arms come separate. You just have the arm, and then you put your own ends on there, or the ends that come with it. You don't have to buy them separate, but you buy the whole arm and it comes with all the pieces. You just have to put it together. So all you do is you loosen this enough to spread it out. And these are all aluminum, which are nice. And then the arms are carbon fiber. And then it fits over that, I don't know if you can see that little thing. It fits over that and bites into it once you spread it out far enough so it can snap over. And then you tighten that down. And then you have your arm. Now, some things that I didn't know came with the kit, and it doesn't say on the website, was it came with a little wrench so you can tighten down these little bolts and the bolts that are on the bottom of that. It also came with 2 drill bits, 2 different sizes. It came with a trim tool so that you can pop your trim. It came with a little Phillips screwdriver. And it came with this, and I don't know what that is. I'm not really sure what that is. There's no instructions to tell me what that thing is. And I looked on the website, and it doesn't say what that is. It looks almost like a go, no-go kind of tool, but it's not what it is. I'm not really sure what that is. Hey, BulletPoint, what is it? Put it down in the comments. So now that we've got the arms put together, we're going to put one of these balls on one side. You just open it up, get the ball in there, tighten it down, and then you can articulate it in any position that you want. You can move it around this way, it can move that way, or it can move that way, so you can put it in whatever position you want until you tighten it down. Now, one thing I did notice that's kind of nice is on these balls, they're machined. They have tiny little grooves in them like teeth, so I think that they're gonna clamp down and really stay where I want to put them. So like this particular one is gonna mount to the back of my GPS, and I've got the Garmin Diesel OTR 700. And it just snaps into the back of that thing, and then tighten it down and it'll hold the GPS. So now I've got it put together, and that's kind of the way that I think that I want it. I'm going to dry fit it in the truck before I double check it, but I think I want that like that. It's going to put the GPS where I want it. I can move it around and angle it however I want it. My phone mount will be here. I'll have to see what kind of angle I want on that, and maybe this will be too long and I'll move it over to this side and put the GoPro mount in the center. But I put the extra mount in the center, and I offset it a little bit to that way to put it closer to me. So we'll have to see. There's 2 spots that you can put it. One, it's more centered, and then the one that's a little bit off-centered. So once I dry fit it up in the truck, then I'll see how it's going to fit. But this is going to sit in here just like this and be like that on top of my dash. Be like mission control. But first, we've got to put the plates on, drill the holes, and all that good stuff. And there it is, all mounted up. Now I didn't use the supplied screws that they gave me. They gave me these screws and lock nuts and washers. But I knew that I was going to be adding a piece of ballistic aluminum to the bottom, so I didn't use their screws. I thought they'd be a little bit too short, so I bought some stainless steel hex head screws, and I put them down in there. Everything's all nice and tight. Now I'll put it in the truck and see how it looks. So this is the finished product. Got the mount up there like that. Ran my cords actually up behind all of this and then up through a hole back there so I can get power to this and power to the GPS. And then that's the ESR MagSafe. You just take the phone, put it there, and it starts charging. You don't have to do anything else. No cords. So, and I don't use that navigation, so this little bit that I can't see doesn't really bother me. I only use that for music for the most part. All my navigation is done up here with the Garmin because it's set up for truck stuff, and that is not. I've got my dash camera up there. Oh, you can see that's my garage back there, my kid's car, and that's the way it looks. So far I like how it goes together and I like how it looks. Now, whether or not it's gonna be stable in the long run, we'll see how much this wiggles when I go down the road. We'll see where the flex is at. I don't think that it's really in the arms. I think it's more in this ESR mount here. I got to tighten it up still back here, and in this plastic up here. So I might figure out some way to make it a little bit stronger there too. But I really like where this GPS is at, because when I got it in drive, okay, so I got it in drive, now I can access the screens right here with no problem. And it's right in my line of sight. I just got to glance down at it, see, okay, I got to be in the right lane, and look right back up. I don't have to go over here and back over here and over here and then back over here. So I really like where that's at. So now the review will come after I use it for a week or two and see if I like it. I still got to use the GoPro mount, get that mounted up there and the GoPro going, and we'll see how it goes. So this is the first video with it on the new mount and driving down the road. So we're gonna see. Now this road isn't super terrible. It's still a Michigan road though. It doesn't seem like it's shaking too bad. Looks like it's mounted in there okay. I tightened up my MagSafe charging mount and tightened up all the other connections. I actually think that in the process of taking that cover off and putting it back on a couple of times, I think one of the clips came off, or my wires are somewhere in there and it's not letting it snap all the way down. Not 100% sure on that, but I needed to get back on the road and get rolling, so I'll explore that when I'm on my 10-hour break and see if I screwed something up with the wires or something up there. We'll see. So far, looks pretty good. GPS is holding pretty tight. It's got a little wiggle to it. Not bad. I was more concerned about the camera not having any wiggle to it. So we'll see how that goes. We'll check back with you later. So now I'm on 80 going across Ohio. And we'll see how bad the vibration is, or the shaking is on that camera. The other mount that I have on the windshield doesn't shake at all. So I don't know if this will be close to that, or if you'll be able to see the shaking in it as I go over all these bumps and stuff. I can't tell by looking at the camera right now if it's vibrating or not. The GPS has a little bit of vibration, but I don't think it has any more vibration than when it was just on the suction cup stuck up there in the center of the dash. But it does have a little bit of movement, but it's not in the mount. It's not in the arms and not in the mount. It's in that tray that's on top of my dash that it's actually mounted to. And I was kind of messing with it last night, and I'm not sure that I got one of the clips in. So at some point, maybe tonight when I stop, I'll get into it a little bit more. Last night I was tired, went to bed, didn't mess with it. So check in with you on a different road. So I've been a week with this mount now, and I have to say that I really like it. It's been pretty stable, pretty solid. I'm gonna make a couple adjustments on the dash to clip it together a little bit better. There is a little bit of vibration on some of the really bad places on 80, but 80 is a crappy road. But for the most part, it's been really great. It hasn't shaken my phone off, except for a couple of potholes, but that's the magnet mount. Didn't really have anything to do with the BulletPoint mount itself. I hit a pothole really hard and my phone went flying. But the GPS has been great where I have it mounted. But overall, I'd say this is a good thing to purchase. It holds all my stuff. It holds the GoPro up there really good. I'm really happy with it. I'll leave a link down in the description now that I've used it, and I can say that it does do what it's supposed to do. It's easy to use. It's built pretty well. You can crank down those knobs pretty tight. Oh, speaking of the knobs, that funky little tool thing that I showed you way back in the beginning, I said, what does this do? I don't have it with me. I left it at home. It's to grab those knobs and crank them even tighter if you really need to. I haven't needed to, but I guess if you have not a whole lot of finger strength, then you would need that tool to help crank those knobs down, but you can really put some pressure on those knobs. That's got to be what that tool's for. But all in all, I like this mount. So click the link down in the description if you're interested in it. Take a look at the other ones out there. But like I said, I don't think that I could mount my iPad to it. Not that I really have a need for the iPad up there. It would only be for checking weather and things like that when I stop. So I don't really think that I need that additional mount. But you never know. Could hook it up there and be able to watch movies when I stop at night. So it would be nice to have it, but it's still kind of expensive to try it. So I guess I'll just kind of put it off and wait and then see if I really have a need for it. So I hope this sheds some light on the BulletPoint mount that goes in this Ford. The ones that go in the Jeeps and the Dodges and the Chevys are all relatively the same. The base is a little bit different, but they all mount basically in the same spot. If you got a tidbit of information out of this video, then do me a favor, click the little like button down there, leave me a comment down there. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing.
Turn left on M221.
I'm Tim, Trucks Daisy. We're hauling paws and we're hauling butt to get home. 8 minutes to get home. So, as always, have safe travels, and I hope to see you on the road.